All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and kick things off. I got a small number of attendees this particular week. Probably has to do with the U.S. holidays that just finished up, people catching up, etc. Um, don't have any topics on the agenda for today. I did want to bring up just a couple of housekeeping things. We are still working on the automation related to getting protocol generation done, protobuffs in the API. There's a couple things still that we're working through in terms of getting some of the capabilities around the buff functionality working completely. Buff generate specifically with gRPC gateway does seem to have some issues that we're working through right now. So that's kind of what's holding that up. Once that's working for one of the modules, then we'll probably work on rolling it out completely across the API, and it'll simplify how we do things going forward in terms of creating files that are necessary for compilation and building the different POCs. So that's where that stands. From a meeting standpoint, we've only got a week, probably another 2 meetings before a lot of people will be disappearing for the Christmas holidays. So I'm proposing that we will schedule meetings for the 7th of December and the 14th of December. And then the next meeting will be sometime in the early part of January. I don't have a January calendar up, but I think it's somewhere around the 4th of January will be the following meeting. So we'll take a couple of weeks off for the Christmas break and people disappearing for that particular period of time. Any questions, concerns, or any topics that folks want to bring up for today? All right. In the meantime, anything that you can contribute will be beneficial for the overall project. Just as an FYI, there is a telco use case that is being worked on by NTT. They are going to be doing some contributions to not only the use cases, but to start mapping out a telco-based API around some of their functionality that they have in mind for their particular use case, as well as an architecture diagram. So that'll be something that once they get through working out the details and putting together the documentation, they'll be submitting some pull requests for that, as well as bringing it to the working group meeting to get some feedback on what they put forward. So just wanted to give you that FYI so that you can be aware that that's coming also. Other than that, it looks like it'll be a short meeting this week. If there are any topics that folks want to bring forward, just put them out there on the Slack channel. We'll get those scheduled and set up for subsequent meetings. All right. I'll give you the last call for any topics for this week. Other than that, we can get back to working on API definitions or other things that you may have within your streams. All right.
I just had a quick question.
Sure, Steve.
I noticed that it looks like Boris created a new repo for OPI CNI, and I see Boris isn't here. I was just curious what the if there were any concrete plans for developing a CNI here.
Yeah, this is the CNI, the Kubernetes CNI that we use for the VPN gateway use case. So Boris has named the repo OPI CNI, and I will create a pull request with the code for that. It is a Kubernetes CNI for the EVPN gateway use case, and which will integrate with the VPN Gateway API, of course, and currently, initially at least, will support only Intel Mount Evans IPUs. But you guys, you're free to use it and enhance it and support more.
So it's very specific to the Mount Evans and your use case, Demetrius, not a generic
Yes,
one
for now, yes.
for now. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can
But
give feedback on what goes in it and make any suggestions.
I mean, right now it integrates directly with the VPN Gateway API. But if down the road the OPI people come up with a common API for all the use cases and stuff like that, as we have discussed in the past, right? Then we can transform the OPI CNI to actually integrate towards that API and not just for the VPN gateway use case. But for now, is for a VPN gateway use case.
Okay, is this expected to work like under Multis, or is this supposed to?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it is. It is already. I mean, I have a pull request for that on the OPI-POC repo, right? Let me try and show you. Let me paste the link. One moment, please. Yes, initially I have called, I wanted to put that under OPI POC repo and I have called it XPU CNI initially, but Boris thought that maybe it would be best to create an OPI CNI for that and put all the code there. So I'm just doing right now the necessary changes in order to place it under OPI CNI repo, like the code.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions or topics for this week? Like I said, we don't have an agenda, didn't have any topics for this particular week. All right, everyone, I'll give you 45 minutes back. If you got any contributions, please go ahead and start putting them out there. It'd be great. Thanks. Have a good day. Have a good week.
Thank you.